Hello, hello. We are having a lot of fun here in Alabama. Currently in our home, it's 47 degrees. We had to postpone this because the heat is gone. But lucky for us, the machine keeps running and making its noise to make us feel as if we're good to go. Hey, D'Souza. So, we were going to go ahead and look at some entertainment news, and we will touch base on some of that. But what I want to talk about is what I got in my email. And so I sent it over to the actual web so we can all read it together. And it's dated December 23rd. Now, 2 days before the holiday that everybody worships or everybody takes part in, this is the gift that just keeps on giving. And we're going to look at this first. We got to look at this. I mean, there's a lot of Hollywood stuff, and it's obviously to keep our minds and our eyes off of this stuff right here, which we all know. We just got through seeing a gigantic fiasco just recently. Talk about entertainment there with Congress and a gentleman who has nothing to do with our country begging for support, more support beyond the support we've already given. So while I wait for the heating people to come and take care of the heating, we're going to go on ahead and we're going to dive right into it. Let me give you the entire screen. And first of all, I want to thank all of you for being here. If you don't mind, hit the like button and share this out if you don't mind. So Biden signs the National Defense Authorization Act into law. This definitely is not something from a regular news article. This is from the U.S. Department of Defense. Again, I get these updates. They come into my email. I glance about them. Sometimes I say, meh, more of the same. But this time, I think in light of the fact that we are already strapped as more, to the hilt here. All of us, America is really suffering greatly. And so we're going to look at this because this is where our money goes. This is what's going on with the money. You want to know what's going on with your money? You want to know how long you're going to be paying off debt? You want to know how long your grandchildren are going to pay off debt? Well, I showed you guys the debt clock not long ago. So this just adds on to it. Again, the gift that just keeps giving. President Joe Biden has signed the fiscal 2023 National Defense Authorization Act into law, allotting $816.7 billion with a B to the Defense Department. Now, I want you to pay very close attention because you will see that there's going to be some monies that are allotted with the actual, where it's supposed to go. And then there's going to be some money that you'll see that does not have a specific place, right? So it says the act means a 4.6% pay raise for the military and civilian members of the department and includes $45 billion, again with a B, more than originally requested to counter the effects of inflation. But isn't this the administration that said we didn't have inflation? I thought that's who these folks were. Yeah. So we're giving that much just for the countering of the effects of inflation and to accelerate the implementation of the National Defense Strategy. Now, that's an underline. When you get this, you can click it. I hope you guys do go look at this stuff because here's the deal. There's a lot of people that can give you information and they don't give you where you need to go to find out if it's valid or not. Again, I try to use as many of the websites from the federal government as I can because you have to take it from the horse, right? But you don't want to take information that you're not sourcing or looking into yourself. It's so important that you go in and that you look at it yourself. It's vital. And so that's the reason why this link is going to be down below. So it goes on to say that the act also authorizes $30.3 billion for national security programs in the Department of Energy and the Defense Nuclear Facilities Safety Board, and $378 million for other defense-related activities. That's the piece that I was telling you about, where it says other. You don't have a specific where it's supposed to go, right? So $378 million with an M, for other defense-related activities. Now, it does go on to say that although inflation has been dropping, they have to add that because they denied it all along. It's been dropping. I don't know where, but okay. Anytime you can go to a store and pay $12 or $13 or $14 for a raw package of chicken wings for your family. Raw chicken wings. I'm not talking about you went someplace and they fried them up. No. When you can pay $14 for a package of chicken wings, that's inflation. And the stuff is turning green as it's sitting there, making everybody go to the vegetable area and become a vegan or vegetarian because nobody's buying and it's just sitting. That's what I saw when I went to the store. So it says that although inflation has been dropping, the act authorizes $12.6 billion for inflation impacts on purchases. It also funds $3.8 billion more to account for inflation in military construction. It is a testament to the size of the agency that the act authorizes $2.5 billion for inflation and impacts on DoD fuel purchases. One of the more contentious items in the act is requiring the Defense Secretary to rescind the mandate that members of the armed forces be vaccinated against the C-19. The department will fully comply with the law, DoD officials said. And now DoD remains committed to the health and safety of the force and to ensuring that we are ready to execute our mission at all times. You know, I know people personally who are in the service and who had to take that. And I see the reason why now they are rescinding it, because there are people who are still in there who have really bad medical issues. Now, I don't know what they came from. I'm just saying that they were okay before they took it, and that after they took it, they wasn't okay. So that's all. So now they've rescinded that. So the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin Jr. III, ordered the mandate on August 24th of last year. The C-19 vaccinations have been successful. Some 98% of active duty service members and 96% of the total force have been VE'd, not vacationed. Since April, only 2 service members have died from the C-19 itself. Austin argued that the mandate is necessary to protect military readiness, and he has been clear in his support for maintaining it. Still, Congress has spoken, and the department will fully comply with the NDAA, officials said. On the personnel side, the act authorizes additional funding to address the effects of inflation on compensation. It also puts in place language allowing more service members to qualify for the basic needs allowance by increasing the eligibility threshold and allowance size from 130% of the federal poverty line to 150%. The act authorizes the Defense Secretary to increase the benefit to 200% of the poverty line when appropriate. So this whole bill is where our defense money is going. But now what I want you guys to remember is this: when you're thinking that it's just our defense, it's not. That defense money goes where they allot it to go under the auspices of defense. So now the DoD officials have said that roughly 1/3 of the spouses must obtain new professional license every time they move to a state. The act expands the scope of financial reimbursement related to spouses relicensing and business costs arising from permanent state change of station. So that would be dentists, that would be nurses, that would be, barbers or cosmetologists, anybody who's got a license. Well, they're saying we're going to help you. And this is where we're going to put some of the money. This is what I call the hush part. Because if there's something in it for you, even though it ain't cool, and even though it's not good to do, if it's something in it for you, they really want you to just hush, let the rest of this go by. It doesn't matter that there's a whole bunch of billions of dollars that no one knows where it's going, but here's something for your spouse. Go sit down and hush. The act also calls for a pilot program to reimburse military families for certain child care costs related to a permanent change of station. There are several changes in the act regarding housing. The act extends the authority to adjust the basic allowance for housing in cost areas and high cost areas, which is everywhere now. And I'm not sure if you guys saw it. Have you been keeping your eye on BlackRock? I did a little bitty quick 40-second blurb that turned into 1 minute. It's over on Headlines with a Voice. Very important that you pay attention to that, because people are pulling their money out. Why? It's a question. Why? Follow the big cats and their money. There are several changes in the act regarding housing. It says the act extends the authority to adjust the basic allowance of housing in high cost areas, and it encourages DoD to coordinate efforts to address housing shortages. Like what? What can you do to address the housing shortages? I've been military, and what are you going to do? See, these are the things you got to look at this. It encourages DoD to coordinate efforts to address housing shortages. To me, that just sounds like get a think tank together. Here's some money. You going out there and you guys get a bunch of people to think together. And all you guys come back and tell us what it was. What is this? A $12 million price tag for this? Great. We'll pay it. Let's go. We did it. And they ain't did nothing. They haven't done anything. Not a thing. The act also makes the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Energy, Installations and Environment the department's chief housing officer. There were no surprises on active duty in strength, with the Army set at 452,000, the Navy 354,000, the Air Force at 325,344. The Marine Corps is set at 177,000 and the Space Force at 8,600. The Marine Corps at 177. Now, you know they have been depleting the Marines for some time. They've been just depleting them. And those are the baddest cats we got. Okay? Those are the baddest cats we have. And you see it's dwindled to 177. But I believe it's honestly lower than that. I don't know where that number came from, but that's the number. Again, we're on the defense.gov's website. So I don't need to go out and vet anything else. Why? Because I'm getting it from the horse. It goes on to say that with regards to the act, other aspects of the act include the authorization of special duty pay for members based on cold weather climate conditions in which their duties are performed. The act also starts a program to reimburse Alaska-based service members for the cost of airfare to travel to their homes of record. Why are they even paying out of pocket? What? Well, I've got to go back and find out when they even started to do that. Anyway, we don't even have a military. The way that they treat these people is just terrible. It's really, it's akin to, I'm not going to say it, but it is. It's just akin to highway robbery, the way they treat them. They pay for everything now. If you're going to send these people out as mercenaries, which is to me what they really are. And I know, you guys know, father, Air Force, former Army wife, all that stuff, you guys know. But I just don't feel like they're treating them right. The NDAA authorizes $32.6 billion for the Navy shipbuilding, an increase of $4.6 billion. This will fund 11 Battle Force ships, including 3 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers, now 2 Virginia-class submarines, 2 expeditionary fast transports, 1 Constellation-class frigate, and 1 Antonio-class amphibious ship, 1 John Lewis-class oiler, and 1 Navajo-class towing salvage and rescue ship. But who is it going for? We get all this stuff and then we leave it in places like Afghanistan. We go drop it off over there for them. And you know what? I'm going to say this. This is my personal opinion. While I sit here and wait for this man that really do need to come on, because I'm about to leave y'all. It's freezing. That's why we had to push it from the 11 o'clock to the 12 o'clock. And then still waiting for them to come and fix this, the heat. It's really cold. But the way that I see it is that we're putting all of our money into this, right? But we're not keeping a lot of this stuff. Look at how much brand new stuff we took and gave to Ukraine, which is to me nothing more than a laundromat. That's all that is. That's a whole laundromat escapade right there. All right. So it also again says that the act also calls for them to build a 3rd Arleigh Burke-class destroyer and allocates $2.2 billion to the effort. My goodness. The act funds 8 F-18EF aircraft. This is good. You need to know where your money going. Don't be like, I don't want to hear all this, y'all. Need to know where your money going. 8 F-18EF aircraft, 16 F-35C aircraft, 15 F-35B jets, and 12 CH-53K helicopters. The legislation also authorizes 2 more V-22 Osprey aircraft. Now, wasn't the Osprey the ones that went down last year or at the top of the year? I might have to look that up because I know we talked about the Osprey. I'm not sure if it was a V-22, but we definitely talked about something with the name Osprey in there. And they kept saying, oh, those were always garbage. But nonetheless, 7E-2D Hawkeye aircraft, 5 KC-130J tanker aircraft, and the Act funds several unmanned aerial platforms, including the Triton and the Stingray system. This is where your money's going. Okay? This is where your money's going. Now, this is what we need to do. We need to see this that we're reading right now together, right? And then we need to look in the next few months, because this is what we're supposed to watch our money, right? And see how many things we're giving to somebody. And then we need to understand, is that coming from this, or is it something that we had hanging out? Either way it goes, why? Why? We're like a warehouse now. Do you guys agree with that? We are seriously like a warehouse. We're literally like a warehouse right now. We are. Yeah, Zelensky's visit was a mess. I'm back over here on this side. Hey, Be Borrowed. Old Head Deuce 22. Salute to you as well, Vine Dressers Branch. How you doing there, sis? S.O. Hopeful. How are you? Okay. So all of these things, we need to keep an eye on. We need to keep an eye on. That's right. S.O. Hopeful warehouse with a cache of weapons. That's what I feel like we are. I feel like we're just like the distribution center. We're the distribution center for the world, Craig, for the world. That's what I feel like. So it says the act authorizes the full fiscal year of 2023 budget request for the European Deterrence Initiative and extends and modifies the Ukraine security. Here it goes. Listen, you guys, y'all know we read this stuff together. The same with on the other channel. Every time I get the stuff, I'll pull it. Y'all know we read together. So my shock, awe, and dismay is exactly like yours. So the act authorizes the full fiscal year of 2023 budget request for the European Deterrence Initiative and extends and modifies the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. It authorizes $800 million in fiscal year 2023, an increase of $500 million above the initial budget request. More importantly, the act expresses the sense of Congress that the United States commitment to NATO is ironclad and emphasizes the importance, this is entertainment, isn't it, of maintaining and unifying a unified response to Russia's unjust war in Ukraine. Lord have mercy. Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. And other shared security challenges, according to a release on the Senate Armed Services Committee website. The Senate release also stressed that the U.S. must continue to assist Ukraine in its fight against the unjust and unprovoked attack by Russia. To that end, the act calls for an assessment of the required U.S. force posture and resourcing needed to implement the national defense strategy in Europe and uphold the United States commitment to NATO. Across the globe, the act extends the Pacific Deterrence Initiative through the fiscal year and identifies approximately $11.5 billion of investments in support of initiative objectives. Now, listen, you guys, it's important that we read this. You know why? Because there will always have other stuff that's going on to get you distracted. And these are the kinds of things that slip up under the wire. You hear the big number, you hear them having conversations, you hear them throwing flowery and unattractive words back and forth back and forth to one another on either side of the aisle. You see them bring in this big guy that has a big fanfare, who we all know was an actor at one point, right? You see all of that, but this is what you need to keep your eyes on. This is really what you need to keep your eye on. Early in the morning, I get this. Okay, cool. It says the U.S. military works alongside allies, partners, and friends, and the act provides an increase of $198.5 million for partner capacity building through the International Security Cooperation Programs account within the Defense Security Cooperation Agency. Oh boy. The NDAA also calls for an independent assessment of the DoD efforts to train, advise, assist, and equip the military forces of Somalia. We need to train them. And authorizes an increase of $10 million to support the U.S. Africa Command's efforts to diversify the locations of its multilateral military exercises on the African continent. The legislation extends the authority to assist Iraq to counter the Islamic State and provides monies to train Syrian allies against the terror group. Oh boy. I cannot help but feel compassion right now for all of the states in the United States that have homelessness that's running rampant, that have fentanyl overdose, that are taking people's children out of here right now. And, even though I don't do the whole Christmas thing, there's a lot of people who do. And this is the holidays, and people are burying their kids because stuff is coming over, and we don't have enough people to even watch the border, or two people that are supposed to be taking care of it who even give a rip to do so. But yet and still, we got money to go over here and toss that we allegedly tossed. We gave it over there. Oh, you don't see it? Well, we gave it to him. We gave it to him. We gave it. We gave it. It's like giving. It's like giving. Let me show. No, it's like giving a pimp a whole bunch of hundreds and just telling them to go on in there to the strip club and just go. Let's go. Just go. We don't know where it's gonna land. Just go. Just go. Just go. Wrist just twisting. Wrist just giving it. We have all these states that have homelessness, that do not have any place to build, and we're going to figure out all this other stuff for other countries. This is a sham, and this is where your money's going. While we're always looking at all the other stuff, that shiny ferret type stuff, this is the stuff that they slide under to tell us that the legislation extends the authority to assist Iraq to counter the Islamic State and provides monies to train Syrian allies against the terror group. Not go buy these kids no new books, not make sure that the infrastructure of our roads are right. Okay, not stop other countries from coming in purchasing whole highways like in Texas. Yeah, Spain. Okay, not protect our border, not keep our country safe. None of that. None of that. But you're looking at all the other stuff because that's what they want us to do. The act provides the long-term aid to Ukraine, especially in waiving restrictions related to contracts for munitions support to Ukraine or to increase DoD's stock of critical munitions. It also provides multi-year procurement authority for certain munitions. The act authorizes the DoD to establish a Center for Security Studies in Irregular Warfare to serve as a central mechanism for developing irregular warfare knowledge. The center will be open to allies and partners. Eat off of your plate. Husbands, your wife made your plate. Here come another dude with his elbows all up, eating out your plate that your wife made. Wives, your husband bought you a beautiful ring. Now here come a chick. She gonna nuzzle over and take your ring off your finger and put it on hers. And she ain't even into your dude. We got it all open to our allies. Finally, the act funds the U.S. Special Operations Command budget, including approximately $250 million for unfunded requirements identified by SOCOM commander. I'm going to leave this down below. We're going to go ahead and get off because you guys know I'm waiting for these people to come and fix this heat. And we're going to be live over on the other channel at 1:30 if all things are equal. If not, I'm going to have to push it back until they get this fixed. But yeah. I'll make sure you guys have this because this to me is the entertainment. When I saw this come into my box this morning, I said, this is entertaining. This is entertaining. Hey, Shaq. But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Right. We've got money, but not for U.S. citizens. Yep. The citizenry of the U.S. is sucked. I mean, we're just screwed. We're just screwed at this point. So I'm going to be on at 1:30, all things being equal, if they get here and get this done. But down here in the basement where I am, it is freezing. So I've got to go up, get my little toesies warm. And I will see you all if you all want to come and meet me over there at 1:30. I think I'm going to bring this over there too, because we all need to know this. It all needs to be, we all need to know at the same time exactly what the breakdown is. Not that we've approved the budget, but we need to know where it went. Okay. And then we'll also talk about some more stuff over there. Um, major stuff over there. I want to talk about, give you guys a little sneak peek. Did you know that China said that their people were not able to get but that other people from other countries that were there, they could get it, but they never gave their people the mRNA. Did you know that? Yeah, well, here it goes. They started it, and now they're saying that there's 38 point some odd billion or million people allegedly a day that's coming down with something new. All right, you guys, let me get my butt upstairs. Yes, I gotta stay warm, be borrowed. Literally, it's freezing in the house. Even the babies all have on the hats and big fuzzy socks. I got on socks and slippers. I've got on 2 tops and a pair of pants and a skirt over that. You don't want to see me. I ain't looking too good. What a sight. Anyway, you guys, I love each and every one of you. I want you to remember what we always say here on this channel. Oh my goodness. First of all, stay warm. She doesn't look too attractive. Hey, girl. I think I look okay. I think I look frightening. Anyway, I want you guys to remember what we always say on any Felicia Lockhart publications, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you guys to take care of yourselves first, and then take care of everybody else around you. And until you and I see each other again, please continue to be blessed. Lockhart Perspective.